Okay, this is going to be my full review of this Edison Cube that I recently got. I made a video about my initial first impression of it, and I think I was kind of hard on the Cube a little bit during that first impression video. Mainly because I got some other cubes at the same time, and they were, in my opinion, a little better than this. But I'll just talk about this as a standalone cube. It's pretty good. It's expensive, which is a bad thing. I guess I'll try to talk about its good qualities first. In my impression, or in my opinion, it's an accurate cube. You can easily get it to go where you need it to go with a simple flick. Another thing I like about it is that it doesn't pop. And a third thing that I like about it, and probably most importantly, is that it doesn't lock up. Other cubes, do, and this cube doesn't seem to suffer from popping or locking. Now, that goes a long way with me, and it's fairly fast. It's probably in the middle. I wouldn't call it a fast cube, but it's faster than some other things. Things I don't like about it, it's a little bit heavy. Not that I don't like that about it, but I kind of like faster and lighter cubes, but this one's a little bit heavy and a little bit slower. I hate the colors. They're very dark, and this red is not red, it's a maroon. It's practically brown. There's a red. This webcam's not going to really show it very well, but yeah, it's very brown. The green's very dark, and the blue's very dark. I mean, other than that, other than the colors, the quality of the stickers is fine. It looks like vinyl. Another thing I don't like is the hardware. If I can even get this apart. The center cap is basically just flat with a hole drilled in it, and then the spring and screw just kind of go through it. I get the impression this cube was designed a long time ago, and it was just the best at the time, so they kept making it and kept selling it. It really hasn't improved. I think they should come out with some improvements. One could be that the center caps are a little bit better designed. When I lubed it with very thick silicone oil on the core, and when I first got it, the core was very stiff. The springs were grinding a lot, and it wasn't very easy to turn it. So I lubed the screw head, the springs, and the centerpiece where it touches the core. And somehow some of that lubricant got on the center cap, and at first they were popping like crazy, but it hasn't done that anymore. But it's very accurate. It doesn't pop and it doesn't lock, so those are very good qualities in a cube. To me, it's good, but I just don't prefer it, if that makes any sense. I mean, I just think that faster cubes and lighter cubes are funner. But I don't know. Do I recommend this cube? Probably not, because I don't know. If you like that old kind of a style, I would get a Maru 3x3, which is lighter and faster, but it locks up more than this. So the A5 memory is only $1 more, and it's lighter and faster, and it doesn't lock up or pop either. So in my mind, I would just go with this, but I don't know. Now that I've used, if I'd have like borrowed someone's or something, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But I don't know anyone that has one, and I wanted to try it out, see if it's as amazing as people say. Messed it up. I always choke when I'm on camera, but anyways, yeah, it turns well. It doesn't lock up. It doesn't pop. But it's heavy, the colors are bad, and it's expensive, so you can make that call. And another interesting thing about it is that these pieces is probably why it costs so much. They really did a good job texturing the sides of the pieces. Like compared to down here in this, I don't know what you would call it, the square that holds it together. This is kind of very flat, and this is textured. So I have a feeling that helps with its speed a little bit. When I first got it, it was terrible. I had to lube it. It came very tight. And the screws are another thing I don't like about it, mainly because they're not that adjustable. They're the kind of screws that are very thick all the way down, and then the threaded part's thinner. So basically it screws all the way into the core until that thick part hits the core, and then you can't go in anymore. The problem is that with that is that as you loosen it to make it cut, and that's probably something I didn't talk about, is the cutting, but those threads become exposed, and then you've got plastic grinding on the threads and stuff like that. But there's just been more advancements in the screws and in the cores in recent years, I guess. But I had to loosen it quite a bit to get it just to cut a piece, and really cutting is its weak point. I have it fairly decent. I tension all my cubes so that they can cut one piece, and this does that. I wouldn't say that it cuts easily, but if you force it enough, it will cut through it. And of course, negative cutting, it doesn't cut at all. So I think maybe, you know, as it breaks in, it'll get a little better, but I don't know. Just out of the box, I wasn't impressed, and it has gotten a little better to me after it sat a while. But I don't know, I'm just impressed by its accuracy and lack of locking up. And that, in my mind, I can forgive it for its little lack of speed, but the truth be told, I probably won't be using it a lot because the A5 memory has all this, and it's lighter and faster. So there you have it.